this is Pilot. Pilot is a border collie and Pilot's 18 months old. Sarah Fisher is going to show us some different ways that we can work with Pilot to help her have a nicer experience on her walks with her owner. What sorts of things might people look at using to help a dog like Pilot and to help her on her walks?
My favourite choice is a harness that has different attachments so that you can put the lead on and clip the lead onto two different points of contact. It stops their pressure being on one place, and it also takes the pressure off the collar, because that can trigger lots of different behavioural issues and also cause physical problems for the dog. I think we underestimate the influence the dog's neck has on everything. It influences the way the dog moves, how it connects to the hindquarters, also influences how it thinks and feels. If we put tension on the neck, we're going to trigger an aroused posture with the dog bracing through the withers, tightening through the back. So if we want to work with a dog to improve its behaviour, we've got to take the pressure off the neck. And you can see she's a little bit unsure about what's happening. So don't want to rush her. Good girl. Girly. And if I just do a few touches, then she feels a bit more confident about moving.
Yeah, actually, in pet shops, there's so many different types of harnesses, aren't there? I guess it's just finding the one that's right for your dog, isn't it?
You also want to make sure that you don't have just a clip on the very back with nothing that you can attach the lead to at the front.
Right,
because if you just put the lead here, it will encourage a pull.
That is actually something that a lot of dog trainers actually talk about, isn't it? The fact that the harness actually, from their point of view, may be more of an issue than using the one point of contact on the collar.
I agree totally, but my only argument with that would be I'd rather be pulled through the shoulder than pulled on that vulnerable neck. Because don't forget, you've got the windpipe, you've got everything going on in the dog's neck, and unfortunately a lot of damage can be done even with just a flat collar. If you see a dog lunging at somebody, they'll often just twist in the neck as the owner tries to pull them back.
I've seen that happen quite a lot with halties or face collars. How do you feel about those?
Head collars definitely have a place, but you're absolutely right. If the head collar is the only point that you've got on the dog where you can control the dog, you'll get what I call the whiplash effect, or they look like fish on a fishing line where they're whipping around desperate to get to wherever they're going or to get away from whatever the threat is. And it can do a lot of damage in the upper part of the neck, help the dog to become even more sensitive through the neck, therefore pull even more, and you become part of this vicious cycle. So if you are going to use a head collar, absolutely use a harness or a flat collar with it, so it's not your only primary source of control.
So it comes back to this 2 points of contact
always
again. Okay, so shall I take this off?
Yep. Good girl. So I can steady Pilot through the chest if necessary by giving a signal on the front part of the lead. If I only have the lead here, I am going to be pulling her back. But for me, this configuration is brilliant in actually being able to rock the dog, change the balance, especially when they're fixing through the body. With 2 point contact, it's easier for me to actually stay in balance and to be able to encourage the dog to walk by my side. Even with this configuration though, the minute I get behind the dog, I'm going to encourage more of a pull in the dog. Pilot, come, good girl. The other trick is to look in the direction that you want to actually move. Steady. Good girl. This way. Pilot, come. Good girl. Good girl. Rather than just leaning over the dog and staring, which is actually one of my worst habits. So we all fall into the trap, but it's good having other eyes to help you so that you can have your habits pointed out to you, because we often don't know what we do until someone draws our attention to it. Good girl. Lovely. So if Pilot wants to walk forward to greet somebody, I can just give her a little steady ask and release signal on both points of the lead so that she's not doing that rushing forward, wagging tail, and therefore inadvertently having more pressure put on her neck.